Give me one more minute to get everybody from Discord over here to the live stream, and I'll be on in just another 30 seconds or so. Good morning, everybody. I am so sorry for all of the weird problems I was having. So first, try getting on the computer, and it's just laggy. All right, so restart the computer. Nope, still laggy. Phone wasn't even hooking up to the Wi-Fi. And I'm like, okay, it's saying it's on. Had to run some tests. Had like 40 for download and like 0.1 for upload. Okay, so router's the issue. Had to work on that. Da 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 da. Anyway, got it going. We're finally here. Only half hour late. That's all. But fortunately and unfortunately, Colin in our Discord here, who runs the futures side of education, is not going to have his live stream today at 10. It looks like that got canceled. So if we run over, then we're not going to, overlap into his slot. So I guess there's that. But anyways, let's get to some stuff. Turn off that music there just so we can focus a bit better. I want to talk about American Airlines real fast, as they have earnings soon. We have been watching this one since Josh J. Rain has brought to our attention a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago. And let's get this looking better. I'm going to turn off Mo's amazing indicator just for a second so we can kind of see a bit more clearly on what we were doing the last few weeks with this whole thing. Move my mic over. There we go. All right. Hey, Jordan, how's the trip? Oh man, I am so tired. This weekend was nuts. This whole last like 2 weeks have just been absolutely crazy. So what Jordan's talking about is he's from our Discord, and I worked a Scottish festival, we have here locally. I helped work it on Saturday or weekend, and it was just late nights, early mornings, very hot days, just go go go. So packed up on Sunday. Actually, I had to leave a little bit early to run up and do other things, and then in the Discord, I was able to I posted some pictures up there in the off-topic chat, and was able to have a little bit of chill time in a hammock on the mountaintop at 9,000 feet with just awesome views for sunset. Just to muted. Oh, I was gonna say, I'm not. OBS says I'm not muted, but okay. Is you? Hey, that happens, man. I would not be surprised if it was something going wrong with my system this morning. But that would be, yeah, that would be expected. So, anyways, it was a great time. Just very, very busy, and looking forward to just calming down to norms. So anyway, thanks for asking. Yeah, it was a great time. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Safe and fun. Got things done. Had some chill time. But yeah, so that was what I did. Third week of July every year, they have the festival up there. So, anyways, American Airlines. this this was an awesome an awesome play. So right here, just before, so you see Wednesday the 8th, we were doing a live stream, and Jay Rain brought this up to us. It was before I drew anything out. I saw this climb, this curve, and then a little bit of a red candle right on that day at the neckline or at the support. And I was thinking, this looks like it could possibly be an inverse cup and handle, which is technically a bearish chart pattern. And so I was like, let's just go with it. Let's just see if that'll play out. And ironically, Delta had pretty much the exact same pattern if you look here. So this is Delta. And if we were to overlay Delta and American Airlines, you'll see they're extremely close. The percentages is off, but it's good enough. Very, very close as far as how this looks, right? Only difference is bring that blue line down. I'm not going to take time to fix that to make it equal. But if you did the settings on this, you can make it actually a equal ratio. And so bring the blue line down a bit, and you'll see the neckline matches, but we have more of a tail on the cup side of things. I'm sorry, on the handle side of things. So that's where it got awesome for our technical analysis, because when Delta had their earnings, they held right in support, and as you saw, tracked over. Earnings for American Airlines is Thursday. So I am actually not going to hold my puts into Thursday. I will get rid of these. They are, let me see what date. I think they're the 20. They're the 24th. Okay. So, yeah, so Friday. So they expire Friday. Right now, the Greeks are looking pretty good. Theta is still wonderful. So the Greeks are very, very confusing. So as you get closer to expiration, Theta should get larger and larger and larger to where it overtakes Delta and Gamma, which is your essentially your profit-making Greeks, or loss, but go with it. Delta is where you make the money per dollar. So my Delta right now is 82. Gamma is 17, Vega is nearly 0, and so, but my IV is high. The IV is high because we're getting close to earnings, and so unfortunately my Vega doesn't have any real value. Vega is where you actually get a decent amount of money as your IV goes up, but it's showing 0.004, so I'm getting basically 40 cents per 1% move, so it's not helping too much there. My biggest winners in this, the Greeks details, is the combination of Gamma and Delta, because I'm so far in the money. So I've been posting this too for you guys on the channel and stuff, but we're at $15 right now. My puts were 16.5 as a strike, so I'm up 106%. My goodness. It's been very dusty this weekend too. Like we're just, it was 94 degrees and it hasn't rained, and so it's just I'm recuperating from all the dust. Apologize for all the throat stuff. So my target for this was 1450. It was basically at this convergence. Now we are sitting right on a support. Now it's hidden by the white line of the fixed range profile, which is over here in your forecasting section. Anchored. Fixed range is different when that's when you do diagonal slash through points, and then it gives you a bar on the left side. The anchored volume profile will run constantly as life goes on and give you volumes and liquidity areas. So weaknesses, strengths. So that's why I like that thing. But it's hidden because it gives you a point of control. It gives you the strongest area, and that's the white bar. And right underneath the white bar, you zoom in real far, we can see the blue line. And that was my support that I had drawn way back on the 8th here when we were drawing this whole thing out. And we're sitting on it. We were sitting on it, and I called that on the 8th. So if this holds into earnings, kind of crappy for me because it'll ruin my puts. I don't want to hold into earnings, though I don't expect them to do well. I expect them to drop probably below this trend line. But I wanted to have this get to the trend line before earnings. It's Monday. We still have at least 2 more days. At $4 theta, I'm not going to worry about it. If it was $45 or $50 theta, okay. The reason why it's so cheap, unlike theta on, let's say, the SPY or the QQQ or Meta or something, is because the price of the stock is so cheap. It's $15. So you do have sometimes, not always, but sometimes you have a relative value for the price. So premiums to buy into these things are not going to be very expensive in comparison to Meta or something that is expensive. So as the price of the stock goes up, your premiums or what you have to pay into for the contracts go up. And same with theta. Theta will also then proportionally increase and eat away your profit. The nice part is at a $50 buy-in 2 weeks ago, $4 is nothing. So, now we didn't get any moves, right? Like if I bought up here at about $17 and for a 16.5 strike, and I had to wait from like the 10th, 11th, what day was that? 8th. Yeah, I think I bought them on Friday. So I had to wait from the 10th all the way till the 20th to get down to where we are. So it's been a long hold for only 106% gain. And it's $165 as of right now, 163. So I mean, if I had 10 contracts, okay, now we're talking something different, right? And at a $50 buy-in, 10 contracts would be $500. Did I want to risk $500 on American Airlines? Potential inverse cup and handle, bearish movement, or put the 500 somewhere where it's a bit more, I wouldn't say less risky, but a bit more expected, right? Yeah, so this was a fun play we did, just mapping this out, charting it out, drawing up the support lines, drawing up the resistances, and just seeing where this thing's going to go to. But like I said, I still have a 1450 price target, whether it be during earnings or just before. We'll see. But I'll likely ditch this thing Wednesday. I don't really want to get into earnings. If this thing gets... See, here's the difference. This gap right here, let me put an arrow for you. That gap shows an area of weakness. And so it's unlikely for a stock to come into that area or this stock should say, into that area and hang out. It can build through it slowly, but we don't really have time for that because earnings is Thursday. So either it's going to hold right here where we are, which is on the support and point of control according to the profile, or it's going to fail and fall through. It's not going to hang out in here just, chopping around. There's no consolidation potentials in here. It's a very weak point. So there's a gap here, which is likely what happened to this. So this big candle, this opening candle essentially, filled this area Where's my brush? So this spot right here, there's no candles, there's no real wicks or anything. That's taken up by this. So when you have an imbalance like that, it wants to, it doesn't always, but if it's going to move in that direction, it will take up that space in one move or one quick move, put it that way. And so that's why we have a proportionate range, roughly, we'll just go with that. And we'll drag this over and see. And trust me, I've not mapped this out, so I'm not even playing with you. I don't know if this is going to work, but it looks like it is. Like I didn't pre-do this and then try to be like, oh, look at how cool I'm going to be with this TA. That just happened. I just know that a lot of gaps like this, they tend to be the same move at a different time. So we just did a price range on that, candle to candle, and look at that. It's literally the exact same thing. Beautiful. So if you see a gap like that, do some TA on it, do some technical analysis on it, and see if it'll work out in that favor. And it did. Now, the unfortunate part with having it land on support like this is that there's a chance that it's going to actually consolidate here, get above the 50 on the 15-minute here, and it can become a bit stronger and push up into like the lower $15 range. That's going to hurt my puts, and I won't be able to get down to the 14s like I want to be before earnings. Earnings is going to be where it's going to finally fail. So do I hold? Do I not? Do I take the 160 and be happy? I mean, if I can actually get down to 14s, I'll be pushing 200. That's the hard part to know, you know? But we can do what we can do. Don't be greedy in any of your plays. That's a big thing, you know? 160, that's nice. 200, that's wonderful. $40, is it worth the risk? You know? That kind of thing. So that's the TA on this, and calling out Jay Rain for helping out, showing this, and we did some charting with him, and absolutely gorgeous. It actually, it curved down faster than I expected. I thought it was going to kind of trail out like this, and within only 2 or 3 days, it peaked and then crashed. So it started falling way faster than expected. So Jay Rain, if you're on here, I appreciate the ticker call, and everybody out there watching these that interact and comment on these lives. This is what happens if you just mention a ticker. Don't be shy. Just say, "Hey, let's look at this." You know, we can draw things out, and whoever was able to play with this one, I know there was a few of us that ran some puts on this. You know, you made some money. It's awesome. So, yeah, it's definitely you know, it's the benefit here with these lives to comment, do some shout outs and tickers and things. We can go through stuff. Speaking of, oh, it's not. Oh, there it is. Okay. We have a low count today. Not many people are on the live. I don't know. Did I not post this somewhere special? So find out. I'll go look at that in a second. But in the meantime, as we're supposed to do, anybody that is in the monthly category for Earner Plus, I really encourage you to take advantage of this code, 40% off, freedom code, brings it down to $253. You're already at about $100 for if you're paying monthly. And so $253 will bring you into the lifetime category. You don't have to worry about no price changes. Anything that does add in as we shift around educators, you're going to get into that. And of course, the biggest thing is Moe's bread recipe. This bad boy right here. It's a built-in multi-indicator tool. You've got RSI alerts. You've got different ups and downs, so bearish and bullish alerts, those green bars and the red bars, EMA crosses. We have all of the important EMA lines and levels to be at, the diamonds. You have all of the different tools and indicators built into one. It's unnecessary. I've got all their stuff up here, but honestly, it's not even. I just do it because I like more visuals. It's unnecessary. His script that he has built is absolutely wonderful. So if you're not in the Lifetime, please, 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 before prices do rise, come on over. You absolutely won't be disappointed. It gives you so much assistance in charting and your technical analysis and everything. So if you have any questions, tag me in the chats and we can go from there. All right. Is there anything that anyone wants to look at? We can do some orb work since that's technically what my my little headline there is about, huh? Let's look at oil since this weekend has had it rise again, of course. Although it did peak over the weekend and it's dropped down since then, so that's kind of nice. Unless you're in a call, which you would want more. But if you're in USO at all, I'm not yet. I tried playing USO futures. Last week as things were kind of getting iffy again with Iran, but I just kept getting stopped out because things kept, getting funny and climbing and dropping and climbing. And then over the weekend, we shot up. So ironically, we have this, I wouldn't say it's a full cup and handle. It's kind of an ugly cup. But if we have if you look at a neckline area here and here, right? And we have a swoop down cup. Here's the handle, right? Where's my... Oh, that's right, it's over here. Duh. Go from the neckline down. And then neckline up. So if you measure, and this is a very rough, I wasn't being specific. This is just to teach you guys. So if you measure a cup and handle neckline or a inverse head and shoulders or head and shoulders, anything that has a neckline and a peak, a neckline meaning just like an area where there's both stabilities. So we have a point here, and at the same level or very close. That distance below that. So measured it down to this lower peak, brought it up here, dropped it from the neckline up, and that's where we're sitting. Look at that. It's nearly perfect. So that shows that the cup and handle is a standard cup and handle is a bullish chart pattern. And again, I didn't look at this before this live. I'm doing this literally live with you. Just measured it out. We did the distance, plopped it there on the neckline up, and look where literally it's sitting at. It is sitting just exactly where I said it was going to be based on that price change. So if you had seen this coming into, last Friday, recognize the potential of a handle, you could have then predicted a USO call with a strike above 114, because then slam dunk. So Friday not Friday. Monday. No, yeah, Friday. Monday is this one. You could on Monday, I suppose. This is a completion of a handle. So if you came in on Monday, the 13th, with recognizing a cup and handle, and you saw more bullish action toward this trend line, especially a confirmation of breaking this trend line and holding right here, just before close, and you did a 119 strike, even on Tuesday, same thing, you would have had a hold for a while, but it did run up to 124. So just because you see a pattern does not mean it's going to act instantly. Though, if you grabbed it at the neckline and did not wait for the trend line confirmation, you would have been able to net from 115 to 125 if you held USO for, let's say, a week, 2 weeks, because theta would be a problem for you with this one. I love USO puts and calls, but the problem is, and I don't even know why, it's a huge stock, but bid-ask spread in these things is wild. If you don't hold this for a solid month, if not longer, you're going to get screwed on the bid-ask spread. What's a bid-ask spread? Bid-ask spread. It's when you buy a contract, you have to pay closer to the ask side, so which is a higher number. And then when you are selling it, you have to sell it toward the bid side, which is generally a lower number. If it's within a $5 or $10 range, no big deal. Now, like I'm talking like actual dollars, not 0.1, right? But USO will have it like premiums will be a bit of 1.8, and then your ask will be 2.8. So if your premium is showing you on your side 1.98, but the bid is 1.0, you're not going to be able to sell it in what you're seeing your contract value to be. You're going to have to knock it down to get toward the bid. And that's the problem, because if you're only getting 60, 70, 80 bucks on a contract, but you have to knock it down by 50 bucks, you're only gaining 20, 30 bucks. It's not worth any of the risk. So with USO, my only suggestion with this one is when it's rising, just keep tracking it, because you don't know how far it's going to go versus how low it can definitely go, historically speaking. So if you're playing USO, just wait for it to hit, solid peaks. Wait for the news to see for anything that's going to calm it down, and then we'll drop, and you can gain the puts on that. So, historically speaking, we're I like it for 109, 108, somewhere in here, and we're at 124. That's a nice range. The issue is we just completed this gap. I just recognized that. So there's a gap right here. We just talked about gaps earlier, remember? This gap here, we'll use this price range just for fun, since we already proved this one works. Oops. Come on. All right. Roughly, I'm not going to get picky about this. So there's a gap right there, roughly $4. Now let's drag it over here. Oh my goodness. Drag it over here. It's a little hard to kind of gauge off of the neckline, but I'm just going to plop this in just for fun. All right, so there we go. We can optimize that a bit better. All right, so you can see that the gap over here, right? The distance in this gap from this point to support is identical to the support and the peak of those wicks. So again, with the combo of the cup and handle, if you visualize that, last week, notice the gap, you can go, all right, I see a cup and handle, we have a neckline, we have a breakout from neckline, we do have a trend line, which you can reject on, but we do have a gap up here with some strong support. So if you don't know, we're going backward, right? So we can't see this yet. This whole section we can't see. So we don't know what it's going to do. But we have a gap up here. We have a bullish indicator here, bullish chart pattern here. So you figure, all right, it's a little high, but with all the things in Iran, it makes sense that this could happen. So if you ran that 115 and you targeted a 125 target, you would have made it in a week, only based on technical analysis. Now, this I love way more on a standard stock that's a company that's got earnings and stuff like that. I don't like to play strong TAs like this on stuff like gold, silver, metals, oil, because it's so wild, and this can be blown out of the water with any news information, right? But in this regard, it works. This was textbook. This is textbook, but just beautiful. Bull flag to bull pendant to breakout, fill the gap, came off of a cup and handle, broke trend line, broke out from neckline, like absolutely a textbook move. The price ranges were perfect, perfect here to be the distance it ran. Like gorgeous, gorgeous. So now we'll use that same analysis. We'll wait for it to run down. Now the gap is filled. Now it's going to find some weak zones. It is above a trend line. So are we starting a new rise? I hope not, because I'm tired of paying high gas prices. Are we going to come up here and get back to 132? You know, or somewhere in here, other supports. We can turn on the value gaps and see if there's anything significant. Some right there at 128. Kind of walk through the time frames. Nothing huge. Pretty weak up here. Yeah. So I don't really trust money below 10. Yeah, I don't see anything. So up here, after this gap is filled, there's just going to be a bunch of different various resistances and supports, but all of it's going to be based on the news at this point. So anyways, that's how you would run a technical analysis, though, on any stock. You just, you visualize certain patterns like that, and this is just a gorgeous bull flag with a breakout. This is perfect with a retest right there. So ran up like a flagpole, consolidated, kind of in a almost pendant, like a flag. Breakout above, retest on the line. You see right there. There's a retest. Bloop. Broke out, retest. Back to midline. So now we'll see what it's going to do. But yeah, interesting. So did we get we did get, see, I told you, get above the 50. It's going to start making its way toward middle of $15. So now what do? Do I sell my puts right now? Get what I can get? Do I wait for this to fail? Is this going to be a rally before earnings? Do I hold through earnings and just hope? It's the hard part. Oh, sorry, Jordan. Valley fever has been going around, so if things get bad, definitely get checked. Oh, no. I don't feel like an actual cough or something. I'll be fine. It's just, yeah. Yeah, you guys have that it's like a desert thing, right? Like, was it from it's been a mushroom or something, or some spores you guys have? I've heard of that before. No, I feel totally fine. It's just getting back inside and fresh air, filtered air instead of being in a camper in the dust and kicking things around for days, all different people and things. So appreciate it though. I'll keep it in mind just in case, but I should be fine. All right, what's going on out there? We've got roughly half an hour. What should we do? Anything fun? Anything done? Anything? Seems like SPY is kind of boring today. So what did XSPX? What's it done? Probably should do an orb on something, huh? Since that's technically what yeah, kind of flat. SPY. Yeah. SPX is looking pretty flat for today. I mean, it opened, fell some, and now it's just kind of chopping. Do we have any Fed news this week? I know we have earnings. Pretty sure. Hearing music. Nobody's home, so I'm not sure why there's music on. That's not creepy at all. All right. Yeah. No Fed data. Okay. Well, that's good. For once. World Cup's over. Spain took it. That's awesome. Whoops. Not that I'm gonna, I honestly didn't really care who won, but it was nice to see. I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely a radio playing somewhere out in the house. Well, if the ghost wants to join the live stream, might as well. All right. Any good earnings this week? Anyone know of? I don't really want to take time to look everything up. You're just staring at me looking at my phone. All right. Kind of flat. SPY here. And that's the problem with earnings week. So if we have a few strong companies that will have earnings, say on like Wednesday, Thursday, Monday is going to be one of those like iffy trail off things based on the weekend's news, which is not great because of the whole Iran thing. So that's where we have this drop, right? Though from Friday, it's up. So the lows on Friday we're still up, but not by much, only a buck. So that doesn't help anyone's calls because Theta has taken it away from over the weekend. So we're kind of now chopping, waiting for earnings. I suppose we could just go over here together instead of doing it through my phone. Earnings this week. Let's see. Let's look together instead of might be on my phone. All right, what do we have? This is gonna be everybody though, so we want like big earnings. Domino's, I know that's a big one for some companies. Is there a way to like? Okay. See anything for today? Let's go to tomorrow. Vardis, Schwab, Interactive. So much of Danaher. Okay. So yeah, some financial companies, insurance, banks, military, Danaher and Northrop, GE. Okay. So those are going to be big. They're not big movers, but decent movers. And it's going to be pre-market. The sunshine here is pre-market. So that might be why we're chopping sideways today, is because we have these guys. We have some interactive. I read the word. Banks and financial institutions. We also have military. We have large market cap companies doing earnings pre-market tomorrow morning. Anything else? Yeah, more Anley Capital. I saw AGNC somewhere. DR Hortons, it's housing. Halliburton, more financials, Synchrony. Wow, we have 6 pages coming in for tomorrow, pre-market and aftermarket. Western Alliance, more banks. Yeah. Okay, so that could be why we're chopping sideways today. Is there's some pretty significant banking earnings and military earnings coming in pre-market, post-market tomorrow. So that could be why we're just going to chop today. This might be a great day just to work on some shares management. If you guys are holding shares, look into shares management. Oh, come on. See, I called this earlier. It was going to do this over a 50. It's going to go up. Pooh you. I knew it. This is American Airlines. See, Mo's indicator though broke the 50. EMA's 13 over 50. So the 13 is crossed above the 50, which shows strong support for the upside. Gives you this green diamond that kind of just gives you a visual. That's what's going on before you even read anything or look at anything. You can see green diamond, you know it's going to go up. Now, it will hold. I mean, I don't know, but it gives you the indicator that potentially it could. So another reason his script is awesome. So today I don't know if I'm gonna play anything. To be honest, maybe the afternoon if it starts getting wild. But there's no liquidity, there's no volume, there's no reason. Like this candle here, 744. There's $1. If you had like 5, 6, 7 contracts, more than one or two, and you grab that one candle perfectly, then yeah, you could do okay. Now we could get another nice candle and run up to this trend line here. which would be 7.45 to 47, $2. That'd be good. But otherwise, we're just gonna chop around, and when it does this, it's unpredictable to hold at a level, in my opinion. It's hard, especially in the morning when it did a move, and now it's just gonna wait. So so for a SPY, where could it go? B-libs, is that maybe what you're asking? Like, what are we looking at? Well, I do see a wedge here. I marked this out a long while ago. So I drew this out from a ways back. You have a support down here, and it got near that, and it rebounded up to the trend line, and it's back down again. So, you know, I'm looking at the low end of 740, and then the high end. Yep, SPY, yeah. And then the high end of breaking out above 745 if it was to break above this lowering trend line. So 47, 46 really. With earnings week, all of the big names coming in, and we just looked till Tuesday. There's a lot more. Just all you gotta do is just search earnings this week. You saw me do it, and then the Nasdaq will have a list, and then just gonna go from there. There's prettier ones that people have done, like just like a nice grid of the big names, but you can look through just like this. Just click the day, go by market cap. Oh, Google, Tesla. Oh my goodness. Texas Instruments, IBM, AT&T, ServiceNow. Holy moly. CSX, Moody's, Kinder Morgan. Those are 14 pages of earnings on Wednesday. Okay, like I said, Wednesday, Thursday. Didn't I just say that? With companies that are doing earnings Wednesday, Thursday, you'll have a Monday based on news from weekend. Tuesday is just going to chop. If anything, if it's looking bad, they're going to price in a negative earnings, and it's going to sell off tomorrow, and then hopefully gain it back with earnings on Wednesday. But okay, so we've got some serious earnings coming in Wednesday. First page just shows some big names. Big names. So like Google forecast 2.87, down from 2.31. That's not good. Tesla 3.1, up from 2.7. Okay. That would be good. That'd help it out. I mean, it's not been doing very good. Though it's tied to SpaceX, which of course we know what that's like. Let's see. IBM 3, up from 2.8. Okay. Now, ServiceNow 0.4, oof, down from 0.44. So yeah, we have some like not so great looking forecasts for some pretty big names, and others that look okay. 0.59 up from 0.54, 0.5 from 0.44. So it's just gonna Texas Instruments 1.91 up. It's really kind of a mixed bag. So as these companies might sell off, the overalls might not do as bad. It's just gonna really depend. So yeah, let's see what let's go with Tuesday. Where is Tuesday? Tuesday starts right here. We'll go to the oops. We need to go to a support right there, roughly from where we're at now. $4 move down toward the lower base of the support wedge from way back over here. And the support's rough. Ah, man. I can see that happening, to be honest. You have some pretty big names that don't have some lovely forecasts for their EPS. if they price that in tomorrow, this is the opening tomorrow right here. So this is today, this is overnight, this is tomorrow. So if we gauge to come in somewhere in this level and they price in bad reviews, bad reports, bad guidance, bad EPS, we can definitely see a low end of 741 is my prediction, because here's the bottom over these 2 points over here. Will act as a kind of a support before that big rally. It's pretty strong movement. So that's at 741. So if we're gonna fail because of what earnings are gonna project, 741 is at least my starting point for prediction. We would need to break 746 to get out of this downside trend wedge. So I'm not, at least off the earnings for Wednesday, I'm not seeing anything that's like incredible to push that thing up. And there's a lot of stuff, Teledyne, 578 from 520. Those are great. EPSs are nice for an idea, but I mean, it's all about the guidance. It's all about the future. It's all about predictions of what they're going to do and how much they're going to bring in. And lately, just like with TSM had wonderful earnings, record beat, still dropped off. Their earnings was, why is it not giving me earnings? Oh, here it is. Okay. So their earnings was here. I guess revenue was down. I thought they beat everything. Okay. So mixed bag a little bit here, and then it failed pre-market. So we came into it at 420 roughly, and market opened up at 409, and it's only gone down from there. 395 before it kind of rallied a little bit into today. So now we're sitting at 404 from 420s. So even though the market even though the earnings wasn't awful, it still didn't impress any investors. They're like, nope, and they're gone. Just like with IBM, just like with a few others. Netflix still isn't doing good. Netflix still crushed under earnings, even though it wasn't that bad. And they're still, now they're what? Netflix is at $60 or something, 65. So speaking of gaps, here's a gap there. Here's a gap there. Oops, grabbing my lines. This gap was pretty much filled up between this. This gap is still floating. So maybe this will work its way back up and fill up to 423 in the coming days. Yellow line is another resistance. Yellow line is a resistance, and the purple was a downside trend. So it's going to converge here and either fail, or it's going to fill that 423 gap in sometime this week. So I don't know. Can you show a complete enter and exit in Robinhood from beginning? It doesn't have to be for much. You mean like entering, like where to enter and exit on a stock? Or can you give more detail on what exactly you're looking for? On Robinhood. So you want to see like the process of buying an option and then selling it? I suppose you could find one that might not hurt. waiting for your comment, but you're not writing back. So on Robinhood, so I'm assuming you want me to actually walk through, entry and exit in Robinhood is just, it's going to be the same as you're going off the chart. You're not going off of Robinhood necessarily. You're going to go off of what the chart's showing you. Let's look at ones that might be moving differently. Okay, there's Meta's. Meta's holding the 5. Oof. Okay. The thing with Tesla is that it looks like it's bearish, but as soon as you get down here, you get a put. It's just a $4 giant red, giant green candle. So you gotta be careful with Tesla. So like, well, let's do an orb on Teslas here. So that's my headline here for today is, do you even orb? And so the point being is that, what is orb? Orb is opening range breakout. Okay, so you're asking here a complete enter and exit on Robinhood, from the beginning. Well, let's go off the chart first. Okay, so you're going to start anyways. Go to a 15-minute time frame. Find the first candle that completely closes. So it has to be after 15 minutes. You'll find this one candle. Include the wicks. Okay. Grab a horizontal ray and put the put the ray on top and bottom of the wicks. If you over click, just use your keyboard to get it back down there. And then at that point, move to a 5-minute time frame and find the beginning. There it is. And wait for a confirmation. What do I mean by that? I mean, I want to see a candle that closes below the line that does not intersect the orb line. So this one right here is perfect. It literally closes just below the line. So this would be a confirmation candle. It broke out right here. It closed right there. And then the next one is lower, which just gives you more confidence. Along with, of course, your EMAs are going to start to dip into the line. You'll have MACD looking like it's going down. RSI is going down. Now it does say oversold RSI here, so it's giving you warnings, but technically it confirmed a bearish movement with orb at this point. So you would have opened up a short somewhere in between these two candles. We'll go with that. Okay. We want to target for Tesla. If you have a stop, which I would do with this distance, I would do it right at the orb line. Okay, so that's still significant. It's 379 to 380s, so it's almost $1. So that's like $50 you're going to be having to deal with if it's going to come back up to retest the orb line. But if you do, and that is 1.34. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to at least double my shorts distance, or my stop loss distance. So 1.34, I'm going to put this at least 3 to 4 right here. So if that was the case, when we did a short like this, 1.34 to the top, that's the distance from the wick to the orb line. We double that roughly. We bring that all the way back down to down here. We would have done well. So 379, so if you do like a 378 strike, and we ran it down to 375, beautiful. And orb would have helped you with that. Now, granted, if you want to hold it longer, of course, you could have held it longer. And get my mouse on this. Oh my goodness. It still has not come back up inside after this one candle. It's still going down. So you could have been holding these puts all the way down from 370, what did I say? 378 strike. And here we are at 371. So orb would have helped you find the confidence mixed with Mo's bread recipe here, the script, to be able to enter your put in this situation. and know when to exit. At this point, you could have exited at any one of these candles. You could have exited it here at this green candle. You could have waited. You could have exited down here, because any of these reversals could, with Tesla especially, could run all the way back up, right? We've seen Tesla do it. So you could enter with the confidence of orb plus the recipe, and then exit anywhere in these green little rallies, or just keep holding because the RSI is still low. MACD was turning up. See, technically MACD has turned green here, but it's still bearish. So MACD has failed in the sense of helping us figure out where it's going next. CCI is flat. RSI is flat, even though it still has fallen from 374 to 371. So exit for this is kind of on you. If you were in this play, any moment this thing can just shoot like a rocket, $3-4 like that. I've seen it happen. Just like this one candle has gone, it failed and was been bearish. My goodness. You can easily have a green candle that shoots up and taps the 50 all in one move, which will just take out all the profit you've gained. So if you actually use Orb and you've entered Tesla, or if you just have entered Tesla this morning, it's getting scary, because at any point you're in nice profit right now. Like, don't be greedy here, right? So I don't know. You're not adding to the comment here, so I'm not sure if you're even watching still. But as far as enter and exit on this scenario, that's what I would do. An exit is going to be basically at your goal, right? So if my daily goal is 200, if I hit 200 in my daily goal and I'm in a play and I hit 200, I'm out. I'm going to set a trailing stop loss, meaning I'll be in profit even if it reverses. It won't be as much, but it won't be red, right? But also, if I'm seeing it going down, I will look ahead like this, and I'll look at my premiums. And if it says 4.2, but I like it, meaning I like the trend is still falling, and I like the number to be like, hey, you know what, 200 is my goal, I'm at 150. I'll set a sell limit at the premium that will make me 200. And I'll set my stop loss, trailing stop loss, just a little bit below my premium level, so that if it falls with a reversal, that catches it. If it rises and it wicks up and taps my selling limit, it'll sell at the premium I want it to sell at. There's both sides of the coin you can play at the same time to protect yourself from downside, loss of profit, but also keep your profit. So if you were to, let's just say we're up here and it's a 1.0 premium, right? So $100, and you're green, right? Because you ran it down, so you're doing great. But you see this reversal, you're like, oh no, but you see it still fall. Okay. I'm gonna put my sell limit just beyond. So if that range is gonna be 375.22, I'll go 375.22. I'll do 374.99, right? Just a little bit farther, where easily a wick itself can just take it out. So then I'll do a sell limit that's a higher premium than what I'm at. And as soon as that wick comes up and taps it, or the bid-ask spread gets just big enough, it'll take it right then. And this way you exit without having to do a manual, on your phone or in the computer system on Robinhood, which is very slow. If you do it manual, you could easily miss those wicks. So if you set the limit, you set a sell limit of a premium that's higher than where you're at, and the trend is moving toward that, but as it fluctuates, that one wick will tap it, even though the bar will not stay there, the candle will not stay there, the price will reduce, but it did tap for a second, your order sells, and you keep that profit. Now, inversely, if you were to have a trailing stop loss and the wick goes below and taps your stop loss, you'll sell there too. And it still might travel in your favor. So there is that problem. But it's one of those things where, you know, you've set a loss just in case of a reversal and you are in profit. You know, green is green, right? So there's that. Yeah, so you're not commenting back. The THT shim. So I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for. I hope anyone that's watching, I hope that helps with understanding how to use orb to enter, how to follow Mo's bread recipe a bit better, to watch for other possibilities of reversals, and then how to set a better, not better, a more efficient sell order to exit. So that was just a nice orb line on Tesla here. That worked quite nicely. Try, I think Amazon ran today, didn't they? Yeah. So they look like Meta sitting on the 5. So Meta's doing 2. Does SPY do anything yet? Oh, SPY did jump a little bit. Oops. All right, so maybe we're going to make our way back up to the trend line today. $746.32 up to $747.50 potential. I'd like to see a bit more of confirmation off this 5 before we jump into calls on this, but we have a tightened Bollinger Band, has a tight neck. You can see it came down right here from wide, and narrowed in. When it compresses the candles like that, there's going to be a move coming up, whether it be bullish or bearish. Unknown. Depends on supports and levels. But there's a chance because of this opening being at 740, 748, there could be a chance of it retesting its highs. And if it does that, it could be a potential for a double top, which is a bearish movement. Hard to tell. Oh, speaking of, so all of you that are following me on the Discord know that I've had chickens. Jordan, I know you always comment on my chicken pictures, and so it was February 12th when I brought home the chicks, and chicks as in chickens, and yeah, so we finally have our first egg. Tiny, but they're still small. They're at 22 weeks. So literally at the very earliest that you can see eggs, around 22 weeks for the breed I have. And so yeah, a little small, but you know, they're still juveniles essentially. So yeah, first egg. And that was found yesterday. Last night I found another one that kind of got buried. And so we have 2 official eggs from our chicks from February. So yeah, and so far I bought 7 day olds, and we have 100% hens because we're in city limits. We can't have roosters. So I was really worried that I had to rehome a few of them. They were supposed to be all females. They're supposed to be all hens. But yeah, so far they are. Unless there's a rooster that's really delayed, like very, very, very delayed, I don't see anything. There's one hen that has really large comb and wattles. For the breed is not really like surprising. But yeah, it doesn't have the feather pattern that the roosters would have, and it's not crowing. That's a big dead giveaway, and not very aggressive either. Usually roosters are much more out front of the pack. In the flock, they'll hang out and they'll be like protectors. And this one's inside the flock all the time. So I think they're all hens. So 100% success rate on getting all hens. Awesome. Just to let you guys know, that's my process of the chickens. So, man, it's moving so slow. 0 DTE on Spy would kill you in Theta right now. Another 5 minute, drop to a 2 minute and see if it helps. I don't know. Nope. Gross. As you guys know, I don't like playing chop like this. If it's moving larger, similar to what SpaceX is doing right now, I would play that. I don't like playing the small skinny chops though. I don't know, it's just me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So this is SpaceX now. We had a big sell-off this morning, as expected. And the usual midway gain back. Looks like it might get back to baseline, but we're halfway. That seems to be what it does. It will sell off and then regain half. Sell off, regain half. So look over here. So pick one. I mean, geez. Sell off, regain. Sell off, regain. This one was a little funny. It actually rose quite a lot, but then sold off huge. Regain. Sold off huge. My goodness. Like flipping huge. Look at that candle. My gosh. Huge. Sold off. Regained a bit. Look at that wick. Holy cow. There's a wick. Jeez, son. Sold off, regain. Sold off, regain. Where's the bottom of this thing, man? I don't know. That's why I'm happy to not play options on this and simply hold SSPC. It's the inverse stock. So, until this thing actually finds a bottom and actually starts to gain consolidation and start, stop giving up distance, then I'll start buying back into it. Oops. I mean, the 50 on the 1 hour is way up here, 128. So we're like, $5 range to the 50 on the 1 hour. So until this thing can get tighter in, I'm not going to be buying any SpaceX in between that. I'll be using SSPC to just help out in the meantime. And once it starts to reverse, then we'll talk about it later. But for now, nope. And as expected, right? No, I don't think anyone expected SpaceX to stay high. Like, these were old orb lines, I guess. It's old fibs. Get rid of those. Yeah, go ahead, remove them. Keep those trend lines. Why not? And I've got no idea where bottom's going to be on this. Like, I can't even tell you where a bottom will be on SpaceX. I mean, at this rate, easily 100 before earnings. Man, I can't believe earnings already for SpaceX. That's crazy. It's going to be... Oh, man, I don't even know. So, my guess is probably 100 before earnings. Right there. That would not be surprising at all. I don't really see it doing well in earnings. I mean, why would it? It hasn't really made money. I guess it has good guidance if you think about like what it could do, but I don't know. I don't know. So anyways, I think that's why SPY is just running super slow today. It's just simply the there we go. We have big earnings pre-market tomorrow. And so that's why it's just being funky. So I mean, you could run some calls and hope that this thing eventually gets up there. I would not do like a 0 DTE because I think Theta is going to take you for a ride. If you do a 0 DTE, though it's cheaper, I get that. 13's crossing 50, that's cool. So you know, you have to hold multiple contracts, I think, too, which is a problem. It's just riskier. $72, yeah, premium is $72 for at the money 0 DTE. It's not bad. It's not bad. Signed a big contract SpaceX did, yeah, with lease out AI. Oh, I'm not saying they're going to be a bad comp. No, I have full expectations of it in the future to do exceedingly wonderful. It's just they're gonna get beat to crap right now. I mean, they've got a lot of people that just hate on them because of Tesla, because of Musk. Um, they've just had a lot more to prove for consistencies. Though obviously they've proven tons. It's becoming so difficult to impress investors these days with tech. We've done so much work already in tech that now they're kind of like they're spoiled in my mind, in my opinion, and they want an ever exceeding level of impress me, and it's like, okay, at some point we're in a plateau on it, and that's when they get pissy and then they sell off the market. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I do like this now, and I was moving. I do like this up to the 747 line. I do. So yeah, I'm with you though. I do see great things happening with SpaceX eventually. I just think coming into earnings, it's gonna be a rough ride for anyone's trying to buy into it. Now you could do a little bit DCA every day, I suppose, right? And hope for the best that eventually it turns around if you're okay holding red for a while, you know. 246. I meant 247. Sorry, we're at 246. 746. Holy cow. So yeah, that's cool here. Broke out from the 50, and then it came down, and the wick retested 50. That would have been a fantastic entry on the 2-minute time frame. That right there is lovely. This right here, this wick bounce retest would have shown. All right, we're going up, 100% right there. We just didn't have the 2-minute turned on. We weren't looking at it. But that would have been great. Now, how high will it go? Let's turn on our fair value gaps and see if that helps with some. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So for the 2-minute time frame, it's got a lot of resistance in here for sure. This is a resistance block, and so is that one, and so is that one. Now, do they exist in the 5? Yes. So right now, it's trying to push into this. And generally, it'll go halfway, and if it doesn't have the volume, it'll just fail off. So it might reject right here at 247, or just shy of it. Or it'll break through and we'll go up to this trend line. I love having Mo's recipe mixed with the fair value gap indicator, only because it really helps visualize for me a resistance and support level. I don't rely on it, but like if we're down here and I see that box right here at 746.50, I'll target a trailing stop right at that bottom of that, because if it was to reject here, it'll go right straight through, in which case I'll snag my profit, right? So that's why I turn that on. I hope Mo's okay with me showing you guys that, but I love that for showing just a nice visual of a resistance, and then of course support if it's below, right? So we'll see if that actually breaks. I said we'll see, and Siri turned on. Go away. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Didn't even get to where I thought. I thought it'd get a little bit higher before it got a little bit red candle. Oh, I see. So the top of this box right here is where it's going to try to be a support. It's trying to turn into a support, and then it can pop. It can push up from here. So we'll see if that can break. If that can break the 747 line, or is it going to reject somewhere in the middle of this box? I think it's going to push through. I do like it for, aiming up there at that yellow trend line at 747.50. I do like that. I think it's going to be okay. It's iffy for sure. It's a 5-minute time frame. Let's go to the 2-minute just because it's a little faster for us. But we still know where it's gonna, right here. That break is a potential for reversal there. Yeah, American Airlines doing what I thought it was gonna do. Hit that 50 and gonna run. We're gonna fill this gap area. We're gonna get to 1550, I'm sure, or it's gonna reject off of this line here at 1530 and fall. One of those two. Come on, SPY, what you gonna do? I would love to see it break through. That'd be awesome, to be honest. But so yeah, if we grab this down here, right there at that wick, like I showed you, this breakout confirmation off the 50, right there, and then it would have been sweet. 746 strike, 747 roughly. That would have been a sick move for multiple contracts. That would have been great. So I do all my trading on my phone. I know, I'm sorry. I really hate using Robinhood's website. I really do. Not SpaceX. SPX. So maybe we'll SPX. Oh, see that it has the same exact block it's trying to get through. Look at that. With support down here now. I think it's gonna do it. I think it's gonna push. It's gonna push. It's gonna push. I think I'm gonna call SPX is gonna push into 7,500 before we have issues. I think, and that would mean the SPY is able to push up to the trend line for sure. Oh, of course they're gonna get red right now as I say that. You know, I don't know. Are we gonna bounce off the 5? It didn't even get as high as I thought it was gonna get before it started to fail. I thought it'd get a little bit higher. Oh, maybe. I still think it should at least, historically, when I see these large blocks, it at least gets into midway before it has problems. Maybe we're just doing a stock mo trio. It's still green in 5. The one's looking a little weak. Kind of. All right, here we go. It's still pushing. It's struggling, but it's still pushing. I can't tell where it's going to go. We've got this visual range profile here. We've got a pretty significant base It's larger, like, you know, block. 2 blocks there. It's pretty big. Weakness is here, though. And weakness is here. Hard to tell. I would love to see. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, what I say? Gets in that block, acts as resistance. Yep. See, where could it fall to? It has support right there, right where it's sitting at right now. It's got a little bit of support in that candle. Right, this section here, if it fails there, then we're good down to at least 746.09. But it can bounce off of this area of support. No, EMAs are curling too much. CCI is down, MACD is down, RSI is questionable. What's their time frame? Okay, 5 seconds left. Next candle. That will dictate if it's going to fall more or it's going to stay. VWAP test right now. Okay, so VWAP must be somewhere around right here on this wick, this area right there. I don't have mine turned on, but yeah. Thanks, Jordan. I still think I don't know. 50 is pretty far down. Yeah, there's not much to help at this point. We're sitting in some support for sure. And this definitely acted as a support level, 100%. But with 50 down here, where's the 50 on like the 2? It's way lower. Okay. Might try to go back to that block though, to be honest. 745.76. Oh. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it worked. Yeah, okay. Just trying to push off. I always feel like we need Jeopardy music when we're like waiting for things to move. do 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 do. Feeling like it's gonna pop back up. So 45, 76, you said? It's way down here. On the SPY? That's a far distance, man. I mean, for anyone's in puts, that's gonna be wonderful. That's for sure. I don't know. I can't really tell where it's gonna go. It's doing this like step up pattern, you know? It rose, it dropped to the 50, rose, it dropped to the 13. Are we gonna rise into that block again? Is it gonna fall to, like you said, the VWAP at 745? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Guess what's the blue line? So according to this, the blue line there is VWAP. At 7:46:15. I don't know. I'm not sure which one you're using, man. I just threw that on there just to see, you know. Call. Yeah, I feel like I feel like a straddle is the only way to do this. You know, have both and then sell off one that's in profit, and then as a reversal happens, you sell that one back off when that's in profit. You know, is because it's kind of a somewhat predictable looking S pattern. You know, dupe, dupe, dupe. So now we go to a call to here and then a failure again. Oh, Weeble. Okay. Yeah, they do have... Alright, that's right. We do somewhat differences. It's weird that they do that, right? It's like, shouldn't it just be like, it is what it is? Like, how are we off by, I mean, $1 almost? 50-minute? We go into the 50-minute? Huh? 15-minute? What are you talking about? 50 minutes. You don't have 50 minutes. I have 45. See, this is where theta's going to get you. It has to do something, whether it be up or down. It can't just sit like this. Theta's at 78. So, whether it be, you know, profit or failure, we gotta do some kind of move here. Otherwise, they're just gonna start nibbling away at your premiums. MACD is somewhat bearish, but that's been faking us out today. RSI is blah. Right? I know. I'd like to see it really. I really want to see it retest this midline. I want to see it retest for 747. I really do. What is fall? Oh, okay, that's. So SpaceX must be rallying because I'm having SSPC crash. So. Yep. I was like, why is my... Oh. That makes more sense. Oh, we're in the 50 and the 15. Interesting. Yeah, according to... According to TradingView, VWAP is down here at 746.16. So, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Go off your own charts, I guess. I mean, it's all relative, I suppose. So, of course, as I said this morning, you know, it's on support. Maybe we should just take it. When we were talking about this, should have. So now, essentially, I'm gonna have to hold to earnings, or at least hold really close, because I don't want to take it now in this area. So, darn it. Oh, jeepers. Rejection. Oh, big rejection. Hold, man. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hope you're in puts. Hope you're in puts. Testing the 50. Testing the 50. We are in the 1 minute time frame. Testing the 50 and the VWAP on TradingView. VWAP is 746.16. So we're testing that bad boy. Yep. Well, we had a double failure here. Essentially, it's a 1 minute double top. So boom, boom, fail. I don't like calling patterns on 1 minutes, but it kind of looked like that, huh? Wish I had more contracts in that put. That would have been nice. All right, if we bounce here, we know where it's going to go. Yeah, hold the 50. Yeah, right. Hold the 50. Ironically, Qs have farther to fall, though. Yep, hit that block and pop and blocked it. So apparently I've got a trend line drawn. I don't know from when this was from, but we are kind of a triple tap on this. We have 1, 2, 3 on this trend line. This is QQQ right now. Sitting right there, looking like a reject. Q's, 15 minutes. That makes a bit more sense. I was going to say 50 is really far away. Yeah. The low on Q's today, though, is down at 698 from 703. So watch for a Q drop off. SPY holding a 50 on the 1 so far. As I say that. As I say that. You know, as I wrote in my channel here, I was doing a new play where I add just small amounts of money to SPYM and IWD, but I think I'll do that, and then on top of that, I was going to hold long-term 4 or 5 month out-the-money calls on SPY. But with these earnings coming in, I think I might wait on the calls to see where things are going to go before I do that, because we're to be honest, we're really quite overbought, and we're kind of iffy on. If you look at a long-term trend for the SPY, it actually has a diamond pattern, which is usually a bearish pattern, so it's kind of scary. So I don't know if I want to. Microsoft, holy cow. Microsoft is doing wonderful. Straight rocket ship. IBM just popped. Nice. Yeah, this choppy is a little annoying. Though it's respecting levels that we expect, though. Respect the expected. You know, I had said I think it's going to come in here midway and fail, and it did. Test the 50. and it worked. So we'll see at some point though. Something's got to give. I don't see much for bullish pattern, to be honest. I really don't see a reason why it would. We have too much for earnings coming into Wednesday. We don't have anything great news for Iran. The World Cup is over now, so that's, Apple's failing. Elf is doing wonderful. Whoever is still an elf, congratulations. Man, I've been holding that bad boy since down in the mid 50s. So I keep in every little bit of a red day, I always add more, a little bit of more. Even like it's like $10, I add something to it. I can't tell if this is gonna fail the 50. I feel like it needs to. I mean, it's like the VWAP that TradingView shows didn't do anything. It's like it hit the VWAP right there, and it's just like, meh, blah. I don't know if the VWAP indicator here does anything useful. Oh, here comes. 1 minute time frame. Oh, it's trying to fail the 50. It's not guaranteed yet. It's testing the VWAP on TradingView. Okay, new candles opened under the 50. Officially a failing of the 50 in the 1 minute. My VWAP is showing failure. Jordan is saying, what was it, 745.64. That's going to be roughly 64. That's way down here. Well, that'll be close enough. All right, so this blue line is Jordan's number. We'll see where it lands. Oh, I'm at 222.30, 210. I'm taking it. I'm taking wherever I'm at. Ready? Oh, I don't want it to turn green and take my profits here. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm selling it. Come on. Sold. Okay. I don't even know what the profit was. I gotta go check that. I had 10 contracts. Where is it? 210, buddy. Hit my goal. Oh, I'm sorry. My microphone's that's me loud. I'm sorry. 210. Hit my daily goal in less than 10 seconds. Flippin', yeah, buddy. I'll post that over in the Discord for y'all to see. So this is what I'm talking about. I will trade that crap all day long, but the little tiny candles, nuh-uh. Bang. Yep, goal reach, buddy. Yep, I'm done for the day. Now, that's just me because I have a rule, okay? I hit my goal in one move. I'm out. Now, I might go manage some shares, but I'm not going to play anything else. Now, you did good, man. Both of our VWAPs are kind of off. I don't know. Yours, it didn't even tap yet. I mean, yet. You know, mine, it broke through. I don't know. It seemed almost useless. I kind of stalled for a second on it, but then... So, and yours is down here. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. But the biggest indicator here was obviously we were tapping on the 50. 13 was coming close. That was a big indicator that it could fail. As soon as it broke through and this one opened up below 50, I opened up my 10 right there. Right here. Right at some point in there, I opened up my 10 puts at the money and then hope for the best. And it sold right there. It hit 230 for a moment, but then it wouldn't close. So, oh sure, yeah. No, I know. You know, all of this is speculation to a point, right? I was hoping for 747 and never really got there either. So, but it seemed like the view up is showing me this blue line there, like it didn't. I don't know. This wick, I guess, this wick here respected it, like it bounced off of that, but then these didn't do anything with it, so I don't know. Oh, for sure. I'm still seeing lower, 100%. I'm seeing, so the VWAP here is showing like a band, right? So it's got green, top, blue, middle, and then lower. Kind of like a Bollinger Band with the middle range. So VWAP blue is the middle. I definitely see it coming down and testing lower, 100%. Like, to be honest, for sure, I'm seeing 745 as a potential. Mid 74, 745. Let's see, do we get any kind of rejection off of SPX? Yeah, same. Nothing crazy though. SpaceX did not hold to 50. And Q's... It kind of... That's weird. Is there a block in there? Yeah. Okay, this is why. See, I just turned this on. I just turned on the block indicator. I'm gonna put a bar right on top of that block. Look where it landed. Literally. This order block over here, I put a ray on top of it. And look, it tapped right on it 1, 2, 3 times. So we saw it falling. You can go, well, where's it gonna fall to? If you have these order blocks turned on, you see a block right there, throw a ray on top of it, and that's going to be your stop point. And look at that. There it was. And this stopping point actually seemed to be on the... See, there must be an order block in a different time range that shows... Oh, right there. Yep, look at that. Look at that, 100%. Wicks land right on it. Boom. Tap that order block, bottom of this block right here, as a support, as I mentioned to you guys earlier, and then whoosh, rejected, or I should say bounced. Right there. And now there's one here, right? That's the bottom part. And then the top is roughly right there. So what's it going to do? Seems like it's going to push through. So that's the move I was waiting for. I don't like doing this. This is where I start to fail. I don't know. It's not the indicator's fault. It's too unpredictable for me. I can't move quick enough. And I don't know. But this right here, this was beautiful. We were on the 1 minute. Right there, as the 13 and the 50 were squeezing, and it was failing to get above or below. I just didn't see any reason for it to be bullish. That's it. Can you believe, though, that right here... No, I'm sorry, it was down here. Right here to here on 10 contracts is $210. Now, the scary part is, right, if you were to have that in the wrong movement, that's $210 gone. That's also the scary part. So it looks we have a pinch point now. EMAs are converging again on top of this order block, this 1 minute order block, which is not very strong. Jordan, I'm going to make your VWAP color we're gonna go with like a purple. Oh, see, funny. Now mine's sitting right where you are. Wait, is that what you said? 746. Oh, that's not yours. Yours is down there. I'm sorry. This must be just an order block line. This is yours. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Oh, cool. I just made yours purple. There you go. I read your mind, man. Whoa, what is that? Holy. Wow. Wow. Do you see that? I'm not in anything right now. Because, holy moly. Hey, y'all, I warned you. We're converging. That was nuts. Cheese What a red pepper that flipping thing was. Holy moly. 746.27. 745, a whole dollar. Wow, yeah, we're going down. Going down for reals. Blew through all of those supports, all those levels, just gone. VWAP blew through. Mine, yours. If y'all want to play, maybe I'll play because, I shouldn't. Nope, don't break a rule. Don't break a rule. Don't break a rule. It's all right. I wanted so bad. That was nuts. Wow. Caught the dump. Yeah, were you in a put there, B-Libs, for that candle? That's awesome. Bounced right off there, right off this order block. Hit middle and bounced. I love these order blocks, man. There's just such an easy way to look at visuals. If you're a visual learner or you're a visual charter, let's just say, heck yeah. I'm getting rid of all these because there's no point no more keeping it. Well, I'll keep those ones. Those are still good. They're the major ones. But as you see here, we're underneath this, there's not much liquidity. We're losing strength in here all the way down to 740. What is that? 740. So we're strong where we are and okay above. Not strong down to 740. So 742.79 is a gap down. Oh, really? Let's see. 742.79. I don't see a gap. What am I missing? I'm not seeing it. See a gap here. Is it old? Where's the gap? 742.79. Right there? That guy? Okay. We'll just do purple for now. I don't know what this is. So let's take care of that. Oh, we're up here. Okay. 15. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't look back that far. All right. Well, okay. Sweet. I'm on with you. All right. So, hey, look at that. It's sitting right on your VWAP, bro. That was the 745 from earlier. I made yours purple. So it's sitting right on it as resistance, honestly. So yeah, if you're gonna do anything right now, I would think puts are gonna be the best bet for you. This down here is what Jordan's talking about. This is the gap from a historical spot where it closed and then opened. Right? We talked about gaps earlier, an hour ago, and So it's going to want to fill that. So if it's a lower gap and we're above, it'll go down to fill it. If it's a high gap, it'll go up to fill it. Fill means just take up that space, right? So this is a gap down here, this range, 742, 74, 743, 35, roughly. That gap is open. So at some point, likely, it's going to want to cover that area before it does a reversal. So if you're going to play anything right now after what's just happened, I'm seeing puts. And then bread recipe, we have the red diamond of 13 below the 50, signifying a bearish movement as a guide, right? These are all guides. They're not guaranteed. Everything on this chart, right, is all guidelines. See, look at that. It's pushing it right up like, nah, just kidding. Yeah. See, this is scary. I wanted to play more. Remember, I said, oh, I want to come back into it. This would have taken me out. All my day's profit would have been gone right there. Right? If I'd gone the wrong way, saying puts and then, So one of the gurus I follow, on top of Mo and Joshua Stocks and others, he basically says if you're going to play, use $1,000, do 20% gain, which is about $200, and then be done. $200 a day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks in a month is a wonderful, wonderful turnaround. And if you can get it in the first hour or less of your trading day, you've hit your goal and you have the entire day left. You don't have to sit there and wait like you would do at a job at $10 an hour, hoping to get it built up, right? Hit it, log off, walk away. One session, one trade, log off. And that's what I just did. I mean, it took a minute, right? It took a little while. Market's only going to do what, you can't make the market move, but yeah, there's no point in having me play again. If I want consistency and I hit my goal, I'm done. Now, 200 is a very, very easy, okay, I won't say very easy goal to hit, but it's more attainable than going for like 500. Now, unless this starts to move wildly, and there's in the charts showing that we have a larger hit to follow, then you can have a larger thing. If you're going off of Meta or Microsoft, things that are more predictable in those wild swings, yeah, but for me today, I'm not seeing a reason that I want to, after my live stream here, I'm going to close it down, go about my day, hit my goal, right? And be okay with that. Could you get more? Sure. Could you get less? Of course. So might as well keep what you have and gain that consistency. 749.02 is a gap up. Oh, I see. 749.02, 49. On the 15. Let's turn some of this off. It's getting a little busy. So 49.02. Oh, way down there. Well, that's a gap. Well, so 49. What am I doing? Oh my goodness. 49. I've already got the top of that one marked, which is 48.68. Oh, there's a huge gap here, which we're already closed. I only see no other gaps in the 15. 49. I don't know. I'm seeing full candles until here. 48.84. But that was closed by this. I'm not seeing a 49 gap anywhere. Not recent. I'm not seeing it, bro. I don't know. Either way. Well, I mean, I don't want to keep moving my screen out, make everybody dizzy. But all right, if you say so, I'm not going to say you're wrong. So Jordan's saying there's a 749.02 gap on the top end. So, oh, it's in your channel. Okay, well, oh, all right, we can look at it. AI stuff's so fun. Oh, that's me. Hey. All right, let's see. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Okay, is that it? Okay. Oh, from way back. 17th of us. Okay, so that was Friday. What's the time frame? There's no time frame listed. What's the time frame? 15? Looks like more than 15. Looks like more like a 30 or an hour. Oh, you can just do this. Do hourly. Okay. On the hourly, I was looking hourly, so maybe that was my problem. $7.49 from the 17th. 15? What? Okay. Well, I mean, I can see it in your photo. I mean, it's yeah, it's right there for sure. Yep, just before close on the 16th looks like actually, or no, that was the 17th. So yeah, so it's gonna bounce to this channel. What's the low end though? It could be the 742. Hard to tell if that's the channel or if it's you know. Here long. Wow, look at that wick. Oof. Back in June. I want to show you that. Let me turn everything off real quick. I'm going to show you what I was talking about before I go. Of the diamond pattern. It might be a little hard to see with all of these new drawings. This one's going to take these off. Oops. I'll keep that one. Keep those. All right, so kind of look through this a little bit. I know it's a little wild, but just kind of bear with me. So something ellipse. Let's do path. So we have a point here to here. And then, where else is it going to be? Right? So kind of a diamond pattern, somewhat. It's not perfect, but my concern is that if this is holding, oh, I got a notification from Southern Discord. On your SPY put, what strike price did you select on expiration date? This is from Bosco Crypto. I don't think they're in the live. Let's see. They should be. They're an earner plus. Bosco, hope you're in the live. Oops. So you can see it's at the money strike because it says 746 put, and if you look at where we entered, it was right there. So yeah, sorry, sidetrack. So this is to me it's not a classic diamond pattern. It's a bit more almost like a bull flag in a way because you have this. So I don't want to say it's exactly a diamond pattern, but because we have a low here, it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. So if this is actually a diamond pattern, generally it's a bullish, or sorry, no, it is a bearish movement at the end. It comes down, and usually it's the distance of the middle range, so it's going to fall textbook going off the textbook. It would double down. So we would see it drop down to 700 range. That's a very far drop. That's a terrifying drop. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to do it. It's just if you don't consider this to be a bear flag or a bull flag, because here's the flagpole, right? It's just a weird pendant shape. So I don't know. It's hard to gauge. Is that a pendant going to be a pendant for more bullish movement, or is it going to be, something going to happen and then we're going to fall off? So it just no. Keep it in mind. It just worries me a little bit. That's what I was talking about earlier with you guys, uh, talking about the diamond shape on SPY. This is it. So I don't know. Not sure, but just keep that in mind. I don't know if it breaks down below here. It's gonna widen this out more, right? So just an FYI, All right, what are we at? Probably should get going here. I'm gonna go in about 2 minutes. Been with you guys for almost 2 hours. I know I was late. I feel bad. Figured I'd help you out. Get more. Look at more. SpaceX falling back off again. I might do some share. Wow. Hughes really fell. What was I gonna say? Oh, I might find some stocks to just do like large chunks for like a day trade on stocks, like SPCC for this. Since it's falling, I might try to jump in a large chunk and then target like a $2 move, something like that. Let's see, we could try it. SP. No, SSPC. Yes, SSPC. Sorry. Unfortunately, it's not like 1-to-1. So like a $2 move doesn't, I don't know. Maybe I'll just close it out and go about my day, Let's do that. It's looking like American Airlines is finally chilling out. Yep, dropped below the 50 in the 1 minute, so hopefully that continues to fail. We'll get back down to the baseline again. Like I said it's gonna aim for that mid $15 range. We got close, 15.30, but there's a big gap here. If you guys don't use visual range profiles, where is it? Anchored volume profile, visual range profile, same kind of word. If you don't use them, and I don't know what to tell you, I love it. For your long-term trackers, not so much the SPY. I mean, I think it definitely works in the SPY for sure, but unlike individual stocks, it's way better. Like I don't even have this one here. I'm just gonna open it right now. There we go. So just click it, and then there you go. It won't show you a lot at first. Like I told you, it has to build. So as daily life moves on, it will move up and down and then build volume. So like right now, it shows nothing useful, right? But you give it time, it'll look like this. And I love it because like I said earlier, here is a gap of weakness. All of that. So you can kind of see that between here and here, right? This zone is unlikely to be filled without a big volume push. And then you can see right where it started to tail off today, right there before that weakness. It rose up to it, it tried, and it failed, it tried, and it failed. After 2 or more, 3 or more movements in that one direction and it can't get through, it's a strong indicator that's going to go the other way. And here we go, we see it. So I hope that helps somebody too, is if you have a level and actually Max Trading is another guy I follow. His big thing is if you have a bearish movement that has been trying to move more bearishly and has failed, it's a strong bullish movement. Inversely, if you have a bullish movement that has failed multiple times and starts to crash, it is a strong bearish movement. So whatever way you're looking, if it's trying to get through and can't, and it starts to fall off, it's generally going to move that way fairly quickly. Again, that depends on the stock, it depends on the news and what's going on. But you can see that in this case. We have a gap there of weakness. It went up, it sat on the line, it tried multiple times to get through, it can't, and now we're going to fall off. There's a bit of a weakness here down to that earlier today's support, and that's where it's going to head to. Easy peasy. Without some other news or volume, that's what's going to happen. Looks like SPY is going to fall. SPX is on a 5 minute. We've moved down to the 2. Yep. Well, I hope that helped anybody that was watching today. We went for quite a while, 2 hours. Kind of boring at first, so but that move earlier, man, this one here, that was perfect. No, I'm sorry, it was this one right here at the wedge of the 13 to 50. This was where I made the move right there. So we were squeezing in 13 and 50, right? For anyone that wasn't watching, 13 and 50 was coming in. It kept trying to break the 50, trying to break 13. It couldn't. You started seeing a red building, and as soon as I had it already set up, as soon as it was going to pop through the 50, I opened a short right about here as it was falling through the 50. I mean, I didn't even have a stop loss, so don't even worry about that. I didn't have time to even make a stop loss. And I targeted the opening candle of the next opening candle after the first initial red drop. So right there. So that box right here shows you the exact move I did. on 10 contracts right there. And I sold it literally in that next, like within that candle. So even before it turned green, I was already out. So I literally only held that for, I don't even think it was 20 seconds. It opened up in there, it fell. I instantly put a sell order in for just a little bit above, and I'm holding, watching it hit 0 of 10, 0 of 10, 10, 10, and that was it. I was out somewhere in this candle. Now at the bottom of that wick, I know I saw $230, so I was hoping to get around 220, but it pulled back up a bit when I finally hit my premium and grabbed for 210. So, hey, even if it hit 190, I still would call that my goal. Okay, I'm not going to squabble over $10, right? It's prettier to see the $10, but it is what it is. Now, if we had done it over here, right? So if this was 210, let's put it over here and see. Right here after, so we didn't have a chance though. This red candle hit instantly. So, it would have been too hard to hit. You would have had to open it in this small candle first. It was too quick. But if you opened it, let's just say in this candle, and hoped it was going to fail, this is 210. So literally this is double, right? 0.42, 0.88 would be, yeah, it's double. So right there is 420. So, but I did not see that candle coming, to be honest. I thought that was insane. And the wick was even farther. The wick was nuts. So if you would actually had 10 contracts in here and you hit the candle, that's 410, right? Well, we just, all I did was go off of what I already made and moved it over, right? And then, so literally 488, and I'm just going to do, so that right there is 420, 210, yeah, 420. And then let's say you grab the whole wick or close to the whole wick, another 0.8 off of that. So that would be almost doubling that. So that's on 10 contracts, that is nearly an $800 move. Wow. That's crazy. If you could have sold it somewhere in that wick when it hit. No, that would have been hard to do, to be honest, because it was just so rapid. But man, that's nuts. Hey, I'm happy with it anyway. It is what it is. So if there's anything else you guys want to look at real fast, I am going to head out. I'm going to head out of here. Gonna give a few seconds for latency and typing, but I think but we covered a lot. We looked at a lot. Hope y'all learned some stuff on TA analysis, looking at gaps with Jordan and I. Talk about consistencies in trading, not over trading, not chasing, not being greedy. Looked at earnings coming into Wednesday morning. Would not be surprised at all to see a sell-off tomorrow down to at least this level for 742. Would not be surprised at all. And to wait for earnings on Wednesday morning. So, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna head out. I don't see any more texts or anything, comments or whatnot. Cool. Well, I'll be back on Wednesday morning, and I will try to test my system beforehand instead of logging in right away and be like, oh, it's failing. So, hey, it started out rough, but if you were able to do that trade with me as we're pinching in, was it Jordan, was it Libs? Who was in that with me? Oh, sorry, Weldon. I didn't see your comment. You can get me a Christmas present. Yeah. If we can do things consistently enough, I would love to give the Discord something. Although it's not my Discord, it's Mo's, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not sure. I can't tell who is. There'll be a lot of comments going on. Weldon, you said, "What the heck?" Yeah. Hopefully you were not in a call when that happened. When I saw all those EMAs pinching, I knew something was going to happen, but it is hard to tell where that was going to go. I don't know. Let's see. Was there? Yeah, it was this one. It was this one right here. Was there any order block or anything above it that would have rejected off? Oh, yeah, there was. Okay, well that makes sense now. So we were right here when I earlier told you it was starting to pinch. We had a wick and a candle jump in almost to the mid range of these blocks, which is where you get the rejections from. Hit and then instantly just woof, huge. Again, why I like having these order block things up. Did not expect that. That's not standard. But a rejection off of this is. This is nuts. I can't tell you why it did this. So if you were watching this, you would have seen if you had this order block tool on, you'd see it hit mid range right there on that dotted line and rejected. And then it hit right here in the bottom of the block, gone. As the EMAs were pinching in. So next time you see that, you see all of the EMAs coming into the 50, either way, coming down to the 50 or up to the 50. Even if you don't have the order blocks pulled on, just look for other supports. Because to be honest, all of this right here is kind of clumped up as an average is a resistance level. So even if you don't have the blocks turned on, you can still see that level in there could definitely be a resistance to a lower rally into it, and it acted just as resistance. Exactly, 100% fall off. So there's more reasons to have Mo's bread recipes. That it really helps you show all of the EMAs up to the 50 line, and using your technical analysis skills to chart prior supports and resistances. We could have caught that if I wasn't talking as much, right? If you really were focused on that, you could have snagged that for sure, 100%. But anyways, still falling. Heck yeah, look at that. Wow. Yeah, we're going to that gap, Jordan. If you're still on, man, I totally agree with you. We're going to that gap. 100%. I think if you're sitting in calls right now, or sorry, puts right now, I think you probably, I mean, this is not financial advice, but I think you probably would be pretty solid down to the 743 level. I think I've got, where's my line? There it is. Jeez, I'm gonna grab one put, just one single one in my other portfolio, just see if I can get a little bit. I'm into one contract. 13 about to cross. Oh, on the 15. It did. Well, on TradingView, it did. It crossed in this candle right now. No, it was the last candle. In between. On the 15. On the 5, it crossed a while back, and here's some trios. Here's a stock mode trio. Down, over with the doji, down, over, down. Those are definitely significantly bearish. The doji for sure would show a potential movement in one way or another based on the EMAs. But obviously, with the 13 below 50 at the exact same time, we can see it's going to go down. This is more of a hammer, which is actually more of a bullish thing. So bulls are trying to pull it up, but nope, failed. So down over down, similarly with up over up. So you can see these step downs, and with 2 in a row, a high probability of it going into this gap channel for sure, as we all mentioned earlier. So, all right, that's it. I'm going to get out of here. I've shown you what I can show you. We've talked about it. And yeah, so watch those levels. Once you get in here, if it does get down to 142, high 142s, then who knows, right? It can hit this and then bounce now that that gap is filled, and then it goes right back up. It can come in here and keep falling. So be careful if you're going to play this out after it gets in this channel. If it does, be aware that it might get crazy. Okay. Also, I don't have any we're sitting on it. Okay. So also right here, this range is looks like it could be definitely a support. So if it can't break through this, then it won't be gap down at this moment. But be careful right here. So right here to 143 is an if zone for me. Okay. But yeah. All right. That's it. Thanks so much. See you guys Wednesday. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the Discord.